transformed Jordan Henderson is the heart of England at this World Cup. Pass completion, 84%, total passes, 64. Aerial duels won, 3 of 3. Successful tackles made, 1 of 1. Interceptions, 1. Clearances, 1. Shots on target, 1. As Liverpool's Twitter feed said of Jordan Henderson's first World Cup game, well played, captain. He's not England's captain, of course, but he is no less a leader and no less important in Gareth Southgate's system than Harry Kane. The pivot, as Southgate calls him, is crucial if playing 3 at the back. Henderson's duty is to protect the defensive line, but, against Tunisia, he did more. Henderson was not just a screen, or a disruptor of opposition attacks. He was the fire starter, the player who often got England's best attacking moves going, who threaded through the important pass, or played the ball wide. He linked it all in a way that had seemed beyond him 12 months ago, when Southgate was urging him to release the ball quicker. Jurgen Klopp will get the credit for what has been, in terms of wider respect, Henderson's breakthrough season, but do not underestimate the role of Southgate and his team. Henderson doesn't play like this for Liverpool. Not exactly. He hits a pass when he can, but his role is more that of David Batty. He breaks up play. He attempted 85 tackles in 27 Premier League appearances last season, and 40 in 10 Champions League games. Southgate, who does not have the options in midfield, is trusting Henderson to expand his repertoire. Increasingly, he is what Tony Adams was to Terry Venables in 1996. He is the player off the leash, the one asked to grow. Arsene Wenger gets kudos for making Adams a ball-playing centre-half, but the evolution began before he was even through the door at Highbury. It was Venables, with England, who first encouraged Adams to carry the ball out from the back, Venables who afforded him freedom he had not known at Arsenal. Adams started out as a classy centre-half, drawing comparisons with Bobby Moore. George Graham had other ideas and he came to epitomize a very different kind of defender. Adams was supreme at it, too. But that wasn't him. I would do it to the best of my ability, but all the time I was not expressing myself, Adams recalled. I wanted to tell the world, the public, I don't want to play like this. Venables changed that. He recognized the footballer trying to get out. He needed central defenders to step into midfield occasionally, to change the numbers in that area. If it was on, he said, if there was space ahead, Adams should go for it. In 1998, with a clearer head and now emboldened by Wenger's methodology, too, this shift would culminate in Adams scoring against Everton as Arsenal won the title. He broke upfield, echoing the words of former teammate Kenny Sansom on one of his overlapping runs. "Stick me in," Adams called to Steve Blood, "I'm gone." He finished with his left foot, too. Henderson might have scored against Tunisia on Monday. He was the first to test substitute goalkeeper Farouk Ben Mostafa, from range. It was a smart move, the action of player confident and comfortable. He hasn't always looked that way for England, under Klopp and Southgate. This season there has been a transformation. It is ironic in the extreme that the Football Association has twice paid millions for imported elite coaches, who did not try to improve England's footballers one iota, while Southgate, late of Middlesbrough in the Championship, is attempting revolution. It is the reason his tenure increasingly bears comparison with Venables' determination to turn donkeys into lions in 1996. Too often, with England, lions have become donkeys. Whatever this World Cup holds, Henderson's conversion suggests the power to change. Lord Sugar did not, as many media outlets claim, compare Senegal's team to the sellers of trinkets on Marbella beaches. He intimated that all black people look the same. That is what made his tweet racist and offensive, the idea that he might confuse successful international footballers with peddlers, simply because they are black. It merely compounded the insult that Sugar could not, at first, see what he had done wrong. "Just been reading the reaction to my funny tweet about the guy on the beach in Marbella," he began, convinced of his great wit and comic genius. As humor does not seem to be his forte, it may be best to clarify some things. 1. You do not get to decide whether your jokes are funny. 2. If nobody is laughing, you're not. 3. You're not. If the clues are correct and Raheem Sterling has lost his place to Marcus Rashford against Panama on Sunday, it isn't wrong, just a little harsh. Sterling hasn't scored for England since playing Estonia at Wembley on October 9, 2015, and that is plainly a worry. It is one of just 2 goals he has scored for his country in 39 appearances. He missed a sitter against Tunisia, and Gareth Southgate knows he cannot afford poor finishing against the weakest team in the group. It may be, if England can get ahead of Belgium on goal difference, that a draw in the final game will be enough to progress in first place. Southgate needs forwards who are clinical, and Sterling isn't. It's his greatest flaw. Even his 23 goals for Manchester City last season must be set against the enormous number of chances Pep Guardiola's team created. It might be argued Sterling's return was not much better than par. Yet he was part of an England forward line that began with exceptional vigor and ambition against Tunisia. His pace and game intelligence were to the fore in a first half that was England's most impressive at a tournament in more than a decade. So to be left out now, particularly with Delali also missing through injury, is a ruthless call by Southgate. And it will be no consolation to Sterling to hear that it will not have been taken lightly. In the months before the World Cup, Southgate talked up Sterling as England's No. 10. It was clear he preferred him in that role to Ali, and that he thought it brought the best out of him, too. Just as Fabian